Next, we will look at multiple criteria and compare countifs and sumifs with using arrays to do the same thing. Note that our data is on the point sheet following. Here, it's not a table, but if I come over here, Control-Shift down, you can see that it has the name PPG. Every column has the name of the header at the top of that column. Let's first practice by doing the sumifs with multiple criteria. Sum the points per game of players with PPG greater than 20 and free throw percentage greater than 85. Go ahead and try that. Did you get 27.9? Here's the formula. Sumifs, we're summing points per game, where points per game, comma, is in quotes greater than 20, comma, and also free throw percentage, comma, and as a string greater than 85. Let's go to the next problem. Here we have points per game greater than 20 and free throw percentage greater than 80, similar to above, but instead this time we want to use an array formula to make this work. So we have two criteria. First we have points per game greater than 20. That will return a true or a false. Then we also have free throw percentage greater than 80, again returning a true or a false. Multiplying those together, we'll get either a 1 if they're both true or false otherwise. So the asterisk or the multiplication makes it an AND condition. Go ahead and let's look at these below. First of all, if you forget to put Control-Shift-Enter, you're going to get an error. Correctly, we see that the sum, if points per game is greater than 20, times free throw percentage greater than 80. If that's true, give it a 1 or else a 0. That works. How else could we make it work without the if statement? Go ahead. Okay, let's take out this last part and the if statement. And this should work. Otherwise, I'll put a closing paren in and Control-Shift-Enter. We still get the correct answer. Why? Because when we did math on these, it turned the true and false into ones and zeros. Moving on down, alternative ways that we could have done this. We could have done count if, points per game, greater than 20, free throw percentage, greater than 80. We could have also used sum product. Remember, sum product is an Excel formula that takes the place of some arrays, multiplying one array by another array. It will work, but we can't just say sum product, PPG greater than 20, comma, free throw percentage greater than 80. Why? Because this is true and false, and sum product doesn't know how to work with true and false. If we want to use sum product, we'd have to turn each of those into a 1 and 0 first by doing math. Times 1, and then comma, 1 times again. It works well when we do. We could have also tried to add 0 to it. Or, notice for the array formulas, if we put a plus in there, it acts as an OR condition. If this or that. Let's try that and take a look. Here we put sum if PPG greater than 20, that's going to return true or false, times FT% greater than 80, true or false. Now if they're both true, we'll get a 1. If they're both false, you say that isn't an OR, that's an AND condition. Exactly right, and it happens so often, but then we'd multiply it times PPG to get the sum. So let's look down here at the right one. Here we have the if statement, PPG greater than 20 and FT percentage greater than 80. So this would be a 1 if true. This would be a 1 if true. If they're both true, we get a 2. If either one is true, we get a 1. If they're both false, we get a 0. Anything greater than a 0 will cause the if portion of this if statement to be 1. Otherwise, we'll put in a 0. After we've decided whether it's a 1 or a 0, we'll multiply that times PPG and then sum it up, and we're in good shape. We use a plus to have an OR condition, but it requires an if statement as well. Let's move on down. Here we have a combination of ands and ors. We would just put in the parentheses the OR condition, free throw percentage, or, and then we'd multiply it times the AND condition. Here's an example of what that might look like. Notice we have points per game greater than 10 times and then the OR condition. Either free throw percentage greater than 80 or steals greater than assists. In which case we'd put a 1, which would be times whether this is true or false, and all of that times PPG. If either one of these are true and PPG is greater than 10, this will result in 1 times PPG. Otherwise, it will give us a 0 value for that particular item.